Man, like
You was trying to do your
yo.
housekeeping. You was trying to make sure you was trying to do your job.
Hey, it's all right, but look, we live.
I
What's
understand.
good with y'all, man? Hey, we just out
Oh, now
here
you ready?
Oh, we live?
doing the damn thing.
It's my cue.
Hey, another week down. What was that? Week 5? Yep, week 5 down. Hey, week 6 about to be on the come up after this Monday night football. Packers, Raiders. You already know what's going on. Hey, look, Devontae Adams. What you about to do against your former team?
Yeah, have fun with that.
I need him to get 100 yards today. I need him to show the Packers why he left.
You gonna give that's
Go ahead.
you know that's H block material. Why you over here giving?
Hey, we started
rules nuggets.
sending our links out. Make sure we send
It's already
out.
out, my boy.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
Hey, what up? What up? He already gave you all the intros that you need, so I'm not even going to go into all of it.
Yes,
I'm just
sir.
go ahead and start off by saying, if you don't know, now you know.
Come on.
Outspoken, say what you mean what you say. I'm Cordell.
Hey, Marcus.
One and only Rob Carolina, get at me.
Deuce. You already know how we pulling up. Nobody cares that you're from Carolina neither.
Everybody cares.
All right, cool.
So,
How many
as
Carolinas we got?
usual,
We got one.
As
They
usual,
from Carolina?
live every Monday, going into Monday Night Football, and then always have our recordings that we send out on Thursdays going into Thursday Night Football. We're going to get more heavy into it and hopefully put out more content for you guys as we go on and we get more adjusted to what we're doing as the season goes on. But
yes, sir.
Definitely excited to be here again for week 5. To start week 5, started off proper. We're going to ease into this. We're not going to start off with the hottest topics yet because we want to make sure we get all of our followers in here and all of our viewership going before we really get into the meat and potatoes. So we'll start off with a little softball. Start off with a little bit of react, how we felt going towards or after this game, Bengals-Cardinals. We think Bengals get their mojo back. Joe said his calf ain't an issue no more. Looked like they put up one of their better games of the year. But then again, I have to think that it's also the Cardinals. And I was honestly more impressed with the Cardinals than I was with the Bengals in that outing.
I feel like the bar for the Cardinals has been so low. I feel like they're going to exceed our expectations now because they're working with a backup quarterback off rip. It's already going to taint your expectations, going to lower your bar. But for the Bengals, Joe not being worried about his calf, that's not how muscles work. Like it's going to be something that may or may not linger. All it takes is one bad step, So
that's true.
We can appreciate what he brings to the table while he's healthy, but that's always going to be something to look out for. But in terms of their offense, I would be a lot more confident, Mr. Super Bowl appearance Bengals. I'd be a lot more confident in what they got going on. 2 of their drives stalled inside.
Called me out, huh?
Yeah. You was gonna bring it up. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that we was gonna touch on it. That's all good. Don't be salty. Say it with your chest. Say what you mean what you say.
I'm talking about, baby.
Hey, what is wrong with y'all?
Their offense was straight though. Like 2, they got held up 4th and goal one of the times. Another time they went for a field goal after Joe got sacked. So they could have put up a lot more points. They didn't have T. Joe Mixon run the ball okay. Like they still haven't really got him activated yet. I can see the vision. I feel okay about the Bengals.
See a lot of visions. I noticed.
We gotta project this week 5. I don't know how it's gonna change when everything is cold.
You gotta definitely have to give a shout out to Jamar Chase, 15 catches and 3 tutties on a day without T. Higgins out there on the field. That's definitely impressive. Whether or not Joe Burrow is really nursing or is really improving from his calf injury, that remains to be seen. But of course, I expect him to come out and say something of that nature. Like, hey, I'm getting healthy. The calf is fine. Whatever.
What else are you supposed to say?
Scare teams a little,
I will say this, though. This can be the type of game that propels them. When you go out on the road against Arizona, and a lot of people, I don't think anybody picked Arizona to win, but they definitely expected Arizona to give them a game because of everything that's going on. And for them to go out and put on a Burrow Chase-esque performance was impressive. Got to give them that.
Yeah, I think, I do like the way that they came out and they were able to show a lot more of the deep ball. They would show a lot more of Joe Burrow getting outside of the pocket and making plays where he was, for the first few weeks, just a stagnant, option in this offense. It was just a lot of quick throws, a lot of throws from the pocket.
Yep.
Now we saw that he was able to get outside and to be able to do those things. It's like, okay, like if he can do that, it's like, well, maybe just maybe, there's a chance that he can progress from here, especially after the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked what I saw. But like Deuce over here said, we gotta see,
That's the first person. That's the first person ever.
Hey, shout out Harrison.
Hey, look, we gotta see what he can get to after these few weeks, and is it gonna be a bother? But for now, I like what I saw, and like you said, the Bengals, it could be a springboard for them. But
this is what they've showed us over the last few seasons. They slow starters, get into it, but Joe Burrow hasn't let them down yet in terms of when it comes to postseason play. Being there for the big moments, at least being in the big moment. I'm sorry, my bad.
No,
we met the Super Bowls here. My bad. I didn't know if that was what we was doing. I couldn't tell by your face. Go ahead. What you think?
No. I mean, every time that I feel like maybe the Bengals are turning a corner, then the next game they play like trash. So I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm kind of like, I want to see what you guys do next week at this point, because you have a good game, then you play like trash, and you have a good game, then you play like trash. So when is this going to level up? Level out.
It's funny you say that, because you know who they have next week.
No, I don't.
Gino and the boys at home. So you're gonna see that test that you're looking for. Can you build off that? Can you have the type of performance where you're saying, hey, you know what, they are building something, they are progressing going forward. It remains to be seen whether or not they can get T. Higgins back on the field. I know they're trying to get everything established with Burrow going forward, but I really would love for them to get Joe Mixon involved as well, man. Like, it's just this offense is too talented for it to be one-dimensional, which is what it is at this point.
Offenses are much more scary when you're.
I think Joe Mixon just hasn't been Joe Mixon since they went to the Super Bowl, and that's just kind of been like their thing right now. And I think it's also the reason why he took less money this year, because not only that he wants to be part of the team going forward, but it's also he knows that his production is going down. Right. And I think he also knows that it's not going back up.
Yeah.
Or at least not to that extent, but we'll see.
Damn. I'm gonna put a nail in homeboy. His knees not healthy, bro. You're gonna throw him in the
it's just
in the Le'Veon. He on the Le'Veon track.
From what we've seen, he's just on that track where it's just like he's just never gonna get back to that form.
Just a little pop behind the pad. I don't know. I'm still scared of Joe Mixon, but at the same time, when you look at yards per carry, things of that nature, touchdown output, it hasn't been the same.
Yeah,
it hasn't been the same. I don't know.
We'll see. I missed the host, man.
I hope it's not.
All right. So flip side, Cardinals. Was I the only one impressed? Besides you, belittled them with a backhanded compliment. Was I the only one impressed?
Impressed with.
Impressed.
Okay, fine. Let me flip it to you this way. Either I can be impressed with the Cardinals' offense, or I can be worried about the Bengals' defense. Which way do you want me to go? It's one or the other's got to give. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, look at that.
Y'all see what he's doing, right?
Get a Cardinal a love.
It's one or the other.
He's very consistent. He loves yin and yang. He do be doing that. You're not wrong.
Because the thing is, it's like you're saying that, should I be impressed with the Cardinals' defense?
No.
Or their offense.
Right.
But it's like the offense has done this stuff. They did it against the Giants.
The Giants.
They did it against the 49ers. They scored more points than the Cowboys did.
They put up
a fight until the fourth quarter.
How much they put up?
I think it was 16.
How much more impressed could you be?
Right.
If they've already shown that they can hang with.
They had less than 100 yards in the second half.
Like it's not like they've really gotten just like the doors kicked off of them for like 4
not
quarters.
Yet, no.
They've not been that type of
team.
team.
My whole thing is, okay, if you're giving up all this to the Cardinals, what are you going to do to the top offenses in the AFC?
No. We got to see.
That's the thought.
But see, that's the thing though. That's downplaying the Cardinals offense, because they've done this throughout the whole year.
The Cardinals have looked like an average to below average team.
I think 16 points that they put up on 49ers was their lowest output.
Did you feel impressed about their offense after they beat Dallas?
Who? I'm sorry.
Arizona.
Who are you talking about?
Arizona. Did you walk away like, man, you know what? Arizona's offense.
No, because I felt like the Cowboys defense came out flat.
Let me get this straight. So I got it, guys.
Just that.
So let me get this straight. So
Okay.
you're not impressed when they have arguably the biggest win of the year, putting up rushing yards on a likely playoff contender like Dallas, but you're impressed when they look less impressive against an AFC opponent that you're probably going to see in the postseason at some point. Like, well, I don't understand.
Okay.
Well,
I don't
hold
get
on,
it.
hold on, but
Like,
not even probably they're under 500 right now. Like, what are we talking?
Like,
about?
how is yesterday's outing more impressive than what they did against Dallas?
We're
Okay,
against the
so
49ers.
to me, against the Cowboys, that was like the Cowboys coming out until this past weekend. This is me thinking about it. That was just the Cowboys being really bad, not the Cardinals being really good. That was me saying the Cowboys were being really bad. And then flip side, Bengals, I'm sitting here saying this is one of their best performances of the season. You see, I'm sitting here saying one team is having the worst performance of the season. The other team, I'm sitting here saying you're having the best performance of the season, and this is still happening with your best performance of the season, not your worst.
But
that's why I asked.
But I think the same.
I'm just saying, is there a concern? That was all I'm asking.
But they've had concerns all year. That's not nothing new.
It's the Cardinals.
Nobody's gonna believe it until it's not the Cardinals. When it's a more well-rounded performance against someone who we care about. Clearly, since we all spoke on the Bengals, the Cardinals still an afterthought. We still consider them a bottom 5 team, even though they have played everybody well.
But they're a team that like actually competes,
right?
So I can't say that like the offense did well against the Bengals. That concern for the Bengals defense, but that offense has done those type of things against other good defenses.
Right.
So at this point, I just have to assume that it's a possibility that they can do these things. It's not an outlier.
Yeah. They're not just a walkover. You got to go in and beat them.
You know,
they're not going to lay over for you.
Going to let you walk over.
Okay. Hey, look, I'm just saying.
You're doing your job. We get it.
Bengals defense. I've been worried about them all season.
They put up 100 less yards yesterday than they did against Cowboys. They put up 400 against Dallas, and they only put up 294 yesterday.
I mean, like you said, it was just more. He thought it was more on the Cowboys just letting them do that and them actually doing it. But I think now we have a bigger sample size of like, nah, they can actually do.
They just lost Trayvon. It was really sad. They lost.
Honestly, statistically, this is not a bad. It's not a bad outing by the Bengals defense. I mean, 294 total. I mean, it's not. They caused a turnover. They won time of possession.
I would feel better about the Bengals just a little bit.
I'll say
they ain't get worse.
Sacked them 3 times.
For him to say
went 4 of 11 on offense on third down.
For him to say that it's more about the Bengals, like what their expectations should be rather than what they really are. Which, to your credit, it's like, I mean, yeah, like we expect this team to be better, but so far they haven't shown as a complete whole that they actually are better than what their 2-3 record is. So, and they could have been 1-4, to be honest, if they didn't have that type of outing. So
yeah,
they really needed that.
What's next?
Eagles, Rams. I mean, I was disappointed.
I hate the brotherly shove so much.
I was let down a little bit as well.
I went into that game by the Rams.
I expect a little better from them.
Hey, I mean, y'all was talking. I tried to tell y'all. I was like, hold on now.
I was excited, and I mean, I guess this was just me being prisoner of the moment. Obviously, when someone's coming back off injury, you really shouldn't expect them to just knock your socks
pick
off
up where they left off.
Back.
Yeah,
I mean, he kind of did.
Yeah, but I was expecting. I was like, okay, like, what was Tutu's numbers? Anybody know?
3. His numbers.
Yes.
He got a touchdown.
He had a touchdown, but it really wasn't a lot. It was mostly just the Puka Nacua
and Cooper Kupp show. So, and I was afraid of something like that. I said somebody may end up on the outside looking in, but I was hoping maybe they figure out how to create a three-headed monster, because it's not like they have a tight end who can be like, I figured the 3 of them could.
I mean, it is hard to do. If
Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo can do it, y'all can do this.
But it is hard to do in the NFL because there's also a lot of times where, like, Kittle is injured, so
or just not getting.
They don't have to.
He's been getting targeted a lot less over the last 2 seasons.
For your question, Tutu was two receptions for 9 yards.
2 receptions, 9 yards.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's
in the touchdown.
Yeah, and a touchdown.
Man, touchdown.
that's not.
However,
But
Cup-
I mean,
Cup
but
was-
Nakua and Cooper Cup was still.
Cup was 8 for 114. Literally just picked up where he left off.
Yeah.
And Cool was
Back 7 for 71, I believe. Back like
Which is
how many?
essentially his
7
average.
for 7?
Yeah, 7
no.
for 71.
No. I was asking how many targets
12 for Cooper and 11 for Puka.
and how many for Atwell?
5.
12 and
I mean,
11.
Is this-
and
is-
5?
That's actually
this-
not bad.
Is this distribution not
That's
to your
about right.
liking? Like,
Yeah,
what
I
is it?
think
I would like to see
Like 7.
8 or 9
No.
So
for
who?
Tutu.
Who
8 or 9.
this is
you taking
But
targets
how?
from?
But
You
it's just,
can't-
but it's
You
just,
throwing the ball
it's just
more?
one game with the 3 of them. It's just one game
It
with the
is.
3 of them.
So-
But no, but it's like
Tutu's going to have his moments.
no. But to have it balanced like that, where it's like 12, 11, 9, that they don't. Because at that point, that's excluding.
That's
Tyler
the Higbee is the getting nothing.
That's excluding any other running backs getting
Right.
like. Somebody's gonna have to go down. It's gonna be Tutu.
The running backs get like 5 targets a game, something like that, and you keep it pushing.
But damn, they don't,
It's
they don't
really-
throw the ball that much.
You
to
gotta
be
put
like,
the
yo,
ball in your
they-
playmaker's
like,
hands.
everybody's gonna get these receptions.
How many times did he throw the ball?
You got to put the ball in your
37.
playmaker's hands.
37. So
And
11.
and
You
so
said
12,
11.
11, 12. So it's
hold on,
14 left
12,
targets.
11,
Yeah.
23.
9. It
14
would have been if you wanted it to be 9.
23.
That's
So it's 6
30
targets
something
left.
at that point already.
There's 6 are left after that.
6 or left for the running
So
back. See
he-
what I'm saying?
He's just counting Tyler Higbee at tight.
That's not.
You
That's
see
not.
what
That's crazy.
That's
Y'all
not to
just
me.
drafted a tight end with your first round.
So
Exclusive
Higbee
from
ain't
the
getting
offense.
nothing
That's
no
crazy.
more.
To me, that's really not spreading the ball around. In my opinion, you're
Cooper
literally
Kupp.
just honing in on 3 targets every game.
That's
Just
a
those 3.
strong 3.
But Higbee is a solid tight end. Kyron Williams, they're trying to incorporate in the passing game as well. Like
We're not game
one of the
planners
receivers,
for
just,
Tyler
like,
Higbee,
just
though.
know one
Right.
of the receivers just ain't gonna get it.
All right. So I said why I was let down. Why were you let down?
because I picked the Rams to win. For one, I was let down because I felt like they had a strong start, which they needed in a game like this. But man, I really felt like offensively they let the foot off the pedal a little bit against Philly. There were plays to be made. Obviously, you got a guy like Cup coming back and automatically in his first game back putting up 114 yards on 8 receptions. Like that's it to me. I definitely see the potential with this offense going forward. Like running game wise, it may sputter a little bit, which it kind of sort of always has been the case during the Sean McVay era after Gurley left. But man, offensively in the passing game, I'm excited for this. I really am. I think this
the
is
issue more on the defense.
Yes, their secondary. As we were watching yesterday, they
It was a little,
got some little guys.
a little questionable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ Brown
was
bullied
just
whoever, it seemed
AJ
like.
Brown was just like, yo, you're going over here and I'm going that way. Okay. I'm just gonna let you know. Like that's how it was. When you try to play press coverage, like stop, little dude. Like it wasn't fair.
It was a little disrespectful.
Right.
So
It wasn't fair.
Schematically, they should probably not do press coverage.
N-
They should probably try and see if they can do zone.
But their corners are small and don't have great length to play zone effectively enough, in my opinion.
So then what? They can't play man because they can't press.
They need
but
bigger
They can't play
corners.
zone.
They need
But they're
bigger
not going to get
corners.
that this year. So I'm trying to figure out how we can schematically help them be in a better position.
They got
That's why I'm trying to figure out why y'all are surprised.
They have to
Like, I
spruce
don't
up
know,
the pass rush.
That's what I'm saying.
This seemed like the outcome that we thought was going to happen.
Like
No.
Okay. Here's
Because I thought that the pass rush would be able to do a little some, and then I thought that offensively they would be able to outperform the Eagles.
I mean, against one of the best offensive lines, he was like, the pass rush is going to do something.
We're still
If
waiting.
Aaron Donald ain't doing something, I don't know what you expected this pass rush.
The Eagles' offense
That's
hadn't
what
really.
I was expecting.
I mean, but that's the thing.
We're still
You-
waiting
you-
to see everything
like
at once.
where the Eagles are strong at is on the inside. So they just double team Aaron Donald. Who else you got?
I
really don't got anybody.
the only factor that I was looking at coming into this
Nobody was
game
scared
was
of.
I felt like the Rams offense was able to exploit that secondary a little bit, which they were able to make some plays. As far as defensively goes, I felt like it was going to be one of those games for the Rams where their tackling has to be on point in this particular game because you're dealing with a physical receiver in AJ Brown. You're dealing with a slippery receiver in Devontae Smith. You're dealing with DeAndre Swift, who's shifty in space. You're dealing with Goddard. Like, it's just, you're dealing with those things. You're playing a physical Philly team, so I feel like their tackling needed to be a little bit better. But in terms of coverage on the back end, it didn't really surprise me that AJ Brown was just out there like a man amongst boys. It didn't surprise me at all, and that's exactly what it looked like.
I mean, I think that we should have expected this from the Rams defense in terms of when they won the Super Bowl. It was mostly, hey, we have star power in the secondary with Jalen Ramsey. We got Aaron Donald, and then linebackers just.
Yeah, like what Leonard Floyd, even on the pass
rusher. But it's just like they were more pass rushers. They didn't really have like a pass coverage type linebacker, right?
Like when got Renner Bobby.
Yeah, Renner Bobby, that didn't really work out. But no more Jalen Ramsey, so there's no star power in the secondary because Taylor Rapp is also gone. He's what is he with the Bills now, right? No.
Taylor
Rapp.
So there's no Vaughn.
So no Vaughn.
There's no Leonard
Floyd. No Floyd. Damn, we got them all. And you gotta so when people are like they're surprised that the Rams defense isn't as good with Aaron Donald, but you gotta think like it's just Aaron Donald. That's the only star player.
Well, no, that's why I didn't really have. That's why I didn't really have expectations defensively.
So the only way the Rams are gonna win this game is if they just outscore the Eagles, which
I thought they could really do.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
14 points.
Maybe.
14 points.
But here's the thing, though.
Put some respect on Tyler.
But here's the thing.
You gotta do him like that.
I said this. I was just like, yo, it's gonna get to a point where it's just like they're gonna get in areas where, and also actually, I will say the Eagles pass rush actually did way better than they had the past few games.
Oh yeah, so, they won the game late.
So yeah, like. Second half wise, like they put on, and I think that's also why that the Rams weren't able to do the same things they were able to do in the first half. It's because it's more of a third and long situations than they had in the beginning. So now it's like even when they make those catches, still not a first down. So it's like it just doesn't hurt as much. But I also got to give it to the Eagles run defense where it's like, hey, like, nah, we good on that. And it got to a point where it's just like if you're in more passing situations, it helped them get pressure on third down, and they were able to stifle the Rams in the second half. And that was the key to the game, honestly, to me, was that switch up and being able to get the pressure in the second half.
All right. Well, from good to bad, let's go Jets Broncos.
Hey, look, great game, man. Great game. I watched it. Hey, a bunch of mistakes from two teams that are big on mistakes, and the Jets made the least amount of those mistakes, and they won the game. It's just simple as that.
I'll take it less.
It really doesn't sit right in my spirit watching Russ decline in front of our eyes, even though many people have said that this has been going on for some years. I was holding out a little hope, but watching him run away from people, you don't gotta do him like that. Watching him run away from people, it makes me uncomfy. Like it's like, oh, they gonna catch him. You know what I'm saying? It's just really
like he running with jeans on, right?
Well, no. The first, I ain't gonna let y'all do that, man, like that. The first half,
I'm going to do
the first half. False. I think he converted like 3 first downs off of running. But the one thing with Russ is when people make those second half adjustments, that's what kills him.
And we've seen it.
Yeah, multiple games.
It's one of them things where his brand is in the gutter, bro. Like it's looking very shaky.
Right.
This is
Super Bowl champion, guys. We're talking about a Super Bowl champion.
Has been.
Wow, he's a has-been now.
You done?
Nah, I ain't gonna do him like that.
You done? Y'all done?
Nah. For the Jets, shout out Brees one time. Let me see you getting some run, big dog.
You see how he just? I ain't even go yet.
Don't do that. You're gonna mess me
Fine.
Hey, hold on. I
Fine.
love my running back. Hold on. Shout out Brees one time. Handle your business, big dog. That's how you come back, show them that you healthy, ready to go. You toting that thing. That's how you pull up, pop out. Go ahead. That's all I wanted.
All right. First of all,
Hey, get healthy, Javonte. I need you. Go ahead.
Matthew, appreciate the comment. Says digging the new show. Keep up the great work, fellas. Appreciate it.
Come on,
Thank you
Matthew.
so much. People
Matthew.
who are watching, go ahead, like and subscribe. We're gonna keep on dishing out more content as the season goes on, and we get
Also,
more.
Matthew, also let your friends know, man. Let everybody know in your circle. Hey,
Please.
this is the show.
You can
Might
copy the
watch
link.
this. Go ahead,
You can
let me
copy
know.
it right now.
Help
Share
me
it.
because I'm a beggar.
Also, for everybody who is watching, if you have any comments about what we're talking about and you want to get involved in it, please feel free. Get involved, talk. We'll communicate back with you guys, get you guys involved in it as well. Always open to other ideas from other people and what you guys want to say.
Hey,
As far as I'm concerned, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Hey, tell me if you don't like my takes. Just let me know if they're ass. Just
What?
let me know.
What?
We all about that.
Feel
We
free.
are very accountable
All right.
individuals.
Yeah.
Well,
We're talking
What?
about something
No,
that be
no,
fluctuating.
no.
Our opinions gonna fluctuate. Be like that. You're gonna have to check us. Somebody gonna have to do it. You know.
so
I'm mad at
Go
that.
ahead.
as far as it goes with Russ,
What the hell is wrong with y'all, man?
look,
You want to be held accountable?
Let the
I
man speak
see
about us.
glimmers. All right,
Glimmers.
you guys, there's a light. You just gotta.
Glimpses?
Yes.
I think that was a
no.
bit
I said what I've said.
You
There's
mean-
glimmers of hope? Like I see glimmers.
It's glimpse. It's glimpse of hope.
Maybe like a sliver. I think it's a
No.
sliver of
You
hope.
know what? Don't correct my English right now.
Okay.
Just know hope is there. All right. He's gonna get it together.
It's glimmer.
It's happening. I know it looks rough, but in this game, for example, Russ looked better than Josh Allen did against this defense. All right, like I have to put it in a perspective as that there have been top quarterbacks who have struggled as well against this same defense. I don't think Russ's performance was that god awful to go up against that defense, and also having less talent around him than other high-powered offenses have had.
Right.
So that's why I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm not going to that extent yet. Is he the Russ of the past? Sure, he's not. He also doesn't have Russ of the past people around him. So
That's true.
I think that's a fair assessment to say about him and not judging him. His starting wide receivers aren't really there. His starting running back isn't there.
Literally, yeah.
He doesn't really have a tight end. So I'm like, you're doing what you can with what you got. I can respect that. I can honestly say, because I had them going to the playoffs, that's probably not going to be a thing.
I'm glad that you've arrived at the right conclusion. It's-
Accountability. I love it.
It
Yeah.
only took a month.
I mean,
It'll take a little time.
I will say
Gotta sit with
that
it
the one
sometimes.
thing with Russ that, like, even though at this point I think he's played average, but by the numbers, in terms of yards, he's in the top 15. Touchdown to interception ratio, he's actually in the top 5. It's just
What's top 15?
yards.
That contract ain't. But keep going.
Yeah, but touchdown to interception ratio.
That contract ain't.
Yeah, and that's what
Ain't
I'm
no
saying.
way
Like
you threw
we
yourself
like
the oop, bro.
to
I did.
base
Off the backboard.
to
Straight
base
back.
Russ
T-Mac
based
off
off of the
You-
contract.
you don't get no
Sure,
sense.
like you can say he's underperforming, and I wouldn't say anything about it. But just in terms of how he's played, if the Broncos were able to just hold guys to 20 points or less, they'd have more wins.
Which is what don't laugh because they did that last year.
They did that last year.
They did it last year.
And he was
Oh,
burned.
you guys know they're dead last in defense right now.
Yes.
Look,
this is
that's
a
what
whole
I'm
nother
saying.
problem. There's more
But
than just like
it's
it
more
seems
than
like
just
everybody's
Russ.
coming for Russ, and I'm like, I feel like there's a lot more fires going on, and
Oh,
Russ
for
is
sure.
I mean,
the
there's only-
dimmest of the fires.
There's only
never
one
said he's
game.
the only
It's only
fighter.
I
one
feel like
game.
he's the dimmest of the fires.
I wouldn't say the
no.
dimmest.
No, he is the dimmest because the defense is the worst
No.
thing.
I'm saying he's not the dimmest because what he's being expected to do, he is declined. Like you said, he's not Russ of the past. That's all I'm saying. He's not Russ of the past. What are you
Of
getting
course,
paid?
you don't have
Dude.
Russ of the past.
So
situation.
are you saying that he was only Russ of the past because of his situation?
Yes.
Okay, then sure.
Yes.
You
Like,
might be wrong.
I
Yeah,
do
sure.
think
He
that
had the weaponry.
he
yes.
did have
He
He
like
got
had
one
the
to pull now.
Legion of Boom. Yes.
But we see Sean Payton.
He had Marshawn Lynch.
Him coming off the field. Oh, hey, running back was your hot. Like when we
Okay,
see
that's
situations
one
like
play
sure.
out
But
of how many plays?
we don't know how many plays Sean Payton was talking to that man though. We don't know how many times it was Russ where you gotta check the tape.
All right.
And like, oh,
You guys do
look
know
at
yesterday that Russell Wilson was accountable for 9 of the Jets' total points yesterday, right? Alone, because he had the safety in the end zone, which was
The safety in the
intentional
fumble.
grounding. Yeah, the safety in the fumble.
Mhm.
Yes.
This
That's still they
multi-million-dollar quarterback
And
that they're paying, and he's held to a certain standard, and
He
he's
is.
making. He's not like his plays are not just bad plays. It's
costly.
back breaking plays.
Hey,
Like
but I'm okay with it against this defense.
you're
I got
okay,
a $250
but see,
million guy on
you're
my
getting.
team who did the same
Here's
thing.
the problem: you're getting back breaking plays, but you're also not getting. Man, we won that game because of Russ plays.
Not yet.
You're not getting. How long? How much longer do you
we
need?
got a whole season still to play.
He had a whole season last
He had
year.
a few seasons.
We throw that away.
This is
Throw last
Russ
season.
has looked like this for years.
he has
Even his last year in Seattle, the back half, when you talk about back half of the season and finishing strong, we with Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace, was playing him tough. And our team was buns that year. Russ didn't like I was looking at Russ like he was food. I was like, oh, we shouldn't be scared of Russ. This was his last year in
but
Seattle.
I think like the crazy thing about that year was like, and this is where it's like, okay, Russ is a guy that like he's gotten to a point where he's a guy that doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but when he makes them, they're critical. Because his last year in Seattle, 25-6, like touchdowns to interceptions. So he's not throwing a lot of interceptions,
And the year
but
before
he's
that,
not
year before that, how many touchdowns?
40.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like that was the height.
40, 25, 16, 11.
Yes.
40, 40,
And 11 this
25.
year?
Yeah, 11 this year.
Okay.
40, 25, 16.
That's what I'm saying. The
What year
weapons
was
aren't
40?
there, and he's getting worse.
What year was it?
That was
2020.
2020.
2020.
Mhm.
Yeah.
3 consecutive years. 40, 25, 16 in touchdowns.
So he's going
And he played all
down.
the
But I
games?
also have to say that the talent around him has also went
16,
down.
14, 15.
Because we thought that like he could elevate the wide receivers with the Broncos. I didn't think that, but a lot of people expected that because of who he was, what he's accomplished, and what he was expected to do. That's not been the case.
I get what you guys are saying, but I think you guys are still glossing over the fact of how much money he's getting.
I just said that.
And he's getting top 5 quarterback money. So we should expect top 5 quarterback play, especially when from last year you got rid of the problem and you brought in the problem solver, right?
So is that also on Sean Payton too?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. That's all I want to know.
But nobody said he's the only fire. There's number of
But that's the
fires.
thing, though. I'm not saying that.
No, nobody is.
Okay,
Nobody's saying that's the fire. But
okay.
what I'm saying is when you're paying a quarterback that much, you're expecting more. And especially for a guy that's been in the league as long as he has, especially for a guy that has a Super Bowl ring, especially for a guy that's won as many games as he has, you're expecting more. You're expecting him to win games because he's Russell Wilson. They're not winning games because of him. And that's the problem because of the Bills are winning game because of Josh Allen. Yeah. Chiefs are winning games because of Patrick Mahomes.
Most impactful.
The Broncos are not winning games because of Russell Wilson.
But but to be fair, they have more guys than they do.
Who have more guys?
The people that you just gave an example.
Yeah.
Hold on.
At the quarterback, Russ can
guys.
move the needle more, in theory.
Would you rather have Jerry Jeudy or Gabe Davis?
Jerry Jeudy.
But he has Stephon
Jerry Jeudy
Diggs.
dropped the ball.
But he has Stephon. But that's the only. He's been complaining about having just Stephon Diggs for the last couple years.
But
Who does Russ have?
If I didn't have
Who
Diggs,
does Russ have?
it would be a mess.
Let's not sit here and pretend like they're not. These guys are not talented. Man.
So
They have not produced any of them. Like people, that's the one thing with the Broncos that I will say.
They haven't.
Everybody says that. Oh, they're talented. They're talented. Where's the production? Because none of them had it.
I gotta kill this. I gotta flip it real quick to the other side. I want to talk Jets. Do you guys see a glimpse of hope?
No.
There you go. You're
doing a great job.
You used it correctly.
No.
A glimpse of hope for what?
Them
like
to
the team?
Yeah,
to make the playoffs.
To sneak it.
Absolutely not.
We were looking earlier. We were looking earlier today. We were talking about if the playoffs ended today and how ugly those matchups were. Right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, if they can figure out a way to get 9 wins.
Do you know who
maybe.
else is? Can I tell you who else is still remaining on their schedule? I mean, they still.
Oh, I got it up right now.
I mean, they still have the Dolphins twice. They still have you guys.
Yeah, they got.
still.
Hey, look, they got the Eagles.
Oh, Jesus.
They got the Chargers.
Mm.
Okay.
They got the Falcons. They got the Browns,
Oh.
and they got the Commanders. So
You didn't have to pity throw us in there. You didn't have to do that. We are not worth a mention.
Well, y'all one of the last ones on the schedule. My fault.
I mean, I look at that and I'm saying,
I
like,
appreciate it.
they're going to get swept. I truly believe they're going to get swept by the Dolphins. So that's two losses there. I think you guys will get revenge.
Yeah.
That's 3. The Eagles are just going to. What's the Eagles going to do to them? The Eagles going to have their way. They're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. It don't matter, especially when your Pro Bowl guard just went down for the rest of the season now, and you still got guys like Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, and Deron Payne on the schedule. Good luck, guys.
I mean, their key, the Jets' key.
Oh, and Grady Jarrett
is going to be running the football. And we've said that since Aaron Rodgers got injured, that was going to be their key, is running the football and good defense. And I will give them, to say that there's hope, I don't think there's a glimpse of hope, but what I do say is they can have an 8-9 season at best. And the only reason why I say that is, do I think they can beat the Giants?
That's hideous.
Yeah.
That's not playoffs.
Do I think they can beat the Chargers? Yeah. Do I think they can beat the Raiders? Yeah. Do I think they can beat the Texans?
What's their record right now?
They're 2-3. Do I think they can beat the Texans? They have a chance. Do I think they can beat the Commanders or the Falcons? There's a chance. And do I think they can beat the Patriots? There's a chance. So that's 7 games where it's like,
but I also gave you
winnable.
I also gave you 4 games that they're probably going to lose, which puts them at 7 losses.
That's what I'm saying. So out of those 7
running game, and
that's what I'm saying. Out of those 7 possible wins, they would have to run the table on all of those. And that would be the way.
Let's still
go ahead.
My last point. My thing is, we didn't. If you're trusting them to run the football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is something that they didn't do on the road against Dallas. They chose not to do it, and it cost them dearly. Your best player on offense only gets, or your best running back on offense only gets 4 carries.
Mm-hmm.
Can we trust them to consistently do that? Can I trust them that they're gonna, when the Eagles come to town, they're still going to run the football?
So supposedly they said that Breece Hall is on a snap count. And last week they said he wasn't on such count anymore.
Toting that thing.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, they should have still gave it to Dalvin Cook anyways in that game. Regardless, they should have been running the football, but they didn't. But Breece Hall isn't on a snap count, as they say, and Dalvin Cook's still in the backfield, or you can give him the ball to, take some pressure off of Breece Hall as well, then they have a chance. It's a small chance, and I don't see the hope. But I will say, statistically, they have
the formula to win ugly games. They just got to go do it.
Yes.
All right, let's move ahead and let's talk the dirty. Texans at Falcons.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't got a lot to say. All I'm going to say is I love the way that Ritter improved. I love the way he was under pressure of having to have a fourth quarter comeback when C.J. Stroud came up and he proved that, hey, I can lead the team down the field too. So, I'm happy with it. I'm glad he got Pitts and running the ball like I've been asking for. So, that's it.
You got something to say before this clown go?
It is nice. I hadn't seen Desmond really push the ball efficiently yet. This was the best I'd seen him.
His career high
in terms of throwing the ball down the field, which is encouraging. Y'all gonna need him to just flash it a little bit. Y'all's foundation and y'all's game plans always stay consistent, making sure y'all's running backs toting that thing. If Desmond Ritter can just not turn the ball over and get the ball to your weapons, y'all have a good set of weapons. You really do. Desmond Ritter has always been my point of contention. That was all. And he proved that there's a little something in there.
It's a little something.
A little bit.
Oh, is that a glimpse of hope?
That's a glimpse.
That's a glimpse.
Glimpse, glimmer, sliver, whatever.
I think you should title this show "Glimpse of Hope."
It's already been titled. I could change it, but
I don't know. I was not fortunate enough to catch the last bit of the game because of work.
You missed the dandy. Because
of work. I just looked up and
Dandy's
Young Wei Koo did what Young Wei Koo does.
Hey,
Young
hey,
Wei.
Hey, look, hell
Young
Southern
Wei.
out here. You know,
Hey, chill. Okay.
Most kickers in the league.
That's right.
It's only 2.
Hey, whose fault is that?
So, but I will say that even though I didn't get to see it, the fact that he was able to make the drive happen that needed to happen when it needed to happen, good on him. Gonna have to see it for more weeks, but this is a good stepping stone for him.
Okay.
For a young quarterback.
They all young. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
It was big time by both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
To be able to show a little something. That's what you drafted for.
Yeah.
Because you get paid to do.
So that's what I would say. I'll say good on him. Young quarterback had a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to make those moments add up. Keep making more of them.
Yeah.
Y'all divisional round bound now. Well, how you feeling?
Yeah. I mean, look.
Don't try and be all smooth now.
I ain't look.
Your shoulders is tight. You get it right now.
You know what I'm
look
saying?
very excited.
I'm good. I'm good. Like we had a performance. It's not something that I expect every week from Desmond Ridder. I'm not gonna go out and sit here and expect him to throw for 300 yards every week, especially me knowing his faults, his deficiencies. But it was encouraging to see them win a game without the run game going. Because everyone knows going into games against Atlanta, the run game is the focal point of the offense. It's the strength of the offense. You know, when they get that train rolling, everything is easier. But it was encouraging, and I mentioned this to you yesterday that, you know, a lot of the good teams around the league, they're good because they're able to win regardless of circumstance, whether it's injuries, whether it's QB performance, whether the defense is giving up plays. The great teams, the really, really good teams in the league, they find ways to win regardless. And that was encouraging to see a young team find another way to win, especially without the run game going, and also including the fact that the defense performed yesterday the way that they performed without recording a sack or a turnover, which was impressive. And CJ Stroud was one of the hottest quarterbacks coming into the league, 1,200 yards in his first 4 games as a rookie, most in NFL history. And it kind of sort of, you know, held him in check. You know, they only had 3 possessions deep in Atlanta territory, and they only gave up 9 points as a result. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Falcons. Great win. Shout out to Bijan Robinson. Every single week, you just do something that's just you give more and more reasoning to me nicknaming you Black Jesus. Like it's just you just do something so holy on Sundays.
Right. So CJ Stroud,
out here blessing defenders. You know what I'm saying? Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Stroud, I thought had a strong performance. Still no pick.
Jesse, he should have had that. Jesse Bates should have had one. Man,
can give him his first one.
It was there.
But no, actually, like I think Stroud, man,
Jesse
like,
did something.
Yes.
I'm actually wondering, like, man, how long is it going to be until he actually throws a pick? Like, it might be.
Probably next game.
Well,
probably next game.
I don't know how hot take it is, but could you say that CJ Stroud could become the best Texan quarterback
in franchise history?
This century? Let's start there.
Yeah, he could.
The best quarterback.
Do you project it?
For the Texans.
Something that you would project? Yes, for the Texans. This century.
So they've only been 25 years that this team has been a thing.
I'm telling I can't. I'm not going all the way back to the 90s and 80s. I'm talking about this century.
Peak isn't that high. Is it what? Derek Carr?
No, the best one is
David
Carr.
David Carr. I'm sorry.
Deshaun. And then after him,
my bad. I was thinking about the total.
Even the total
is all Deshaun.
Or is this
So do you think that he could be better than Deshaun Watson for the Texans?
It's possible.
Just because of longevity. Are we just talking accumulating stats, playoff wins?
It's possible.
Yeah,
because he can
all of that.
He can be a little short of what Deshaun's peak was and still take the Texans to the playoffs or something and get a couple wins.
I mean, it's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible. I think it's possible. I really like what D'Amico Ryans is putting together there. Man, like they got a young squad this year. They're going to be competitive in just about every game they play. I rarely see them getting blown out at any point this year, but They got a young core going forward with CJ and Damian Pierce, Tank Dell, Will Anderson yesterday
Collins,
was Nico
Tank,
and Jalen Petrie. Stingley was out yesterday, but Stingley is in that equation as well. I kind of like what they're putting together. As far as the question that you asked, yeah, it's possible. He's got the talent. I mean, 1,200 yards in the first 4 games. It's pretty goddamn impressive.
None of these.
None better than any quarterback in rookie quarterback in NFL history. I mean, that should be a nice building block right there going forward. So it's possible.
For me, he got to save Ohio State's quarterback brand going into the league. But
no, I'm not
that's
starting this argument.
That's a different conversation for a different day. That's a thank you.
There was a Pandora's box. I'm trying to keep that in there because
I hate that stigma. But you're right. Yeah. But I hate that stigma that's placed.
It's just been a thing. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
I hate that stigma.
All right, you know what is the stigma? Teams traveling to other countries. That's the stigma. And playing well, that's the stigma.
That's crazy.
You could ask the Bills because they clearly.
Would you have felt that way if they won?
Didn't know, huh?
Would you have felt that way if they won?
Yes. I didn't want them to go there. I chose them to lose this game. I chose them to lose this game.
Diving into the Jazz, but I just wanted to, because I told you this yesterday and I mentioned it in our group chat, man. Like I'm still, regardless how you feel about the outcome, I'm still impressed with what the Bills brought to the table, man. Like that should have been a game where they should have been blown out like Dallas. Key starters getting blown out. I mean, getting taken out because of injury. You're traveling on a short week. You're playing against a team who's been in London for 2 weeks already. So their 1 week, but so their body clock has somewhat adjusted. And you guys it was still a 4-point game with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's pretty damn impressive, man. I got to give them that.
It depends on what your bar is. At the same time, they didn't lead the whole time. It
was
I mean, to be honest, if it wasn't for those strip sacks, it would have been a worse game. But
in the game early in the game, your offense is out of rhythm. You lose 2 defensive starters by the second drive of the game. Normally, under those circumstances, when you see any team, you're like, dang, they're about to get waxed.
That's fair.
And it wasn't the case.
I mean, I think the only other team that we can say that's been like that is the Ravens. Where it's just they lose so many starters and yet they still find a way to either win games or be close in games.
I don't know, man. I mean, the injuries hurt more than the loss. That is for sure.
Understandable.
But good news, glimpse of hope.
Title of the show.
We need to get you another attitude.
Milano and Daquan Jones are out indefinitely.
I guess we're going to be a first.
Indefinitely.
Definitely.
I saw that too.
That's the word.
That's the word.
I saw that too.
Definitely.
It's a little encouraging.
But I also have to call your team out for signing Josh Norman again. Why?
I missed that.
Why?
Beautiful.
Breaking news to my ears as well.
I ain't hear that.
You just broke that news to me. News I was not informed of.
Josh Norman
is signed.
Yes.
Oh! To the practice squad or to the active roster?
To the active roster.
Oh, damn.
Oh, man. You know they're going to bring that highlight back.
So I'll explain that.
Man.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that's really needing corners.
I'll explain that. Kyrie Elam is boo-boo.
No, that's fine.
Boo-boo.
I understand addressing, but a 35-year-old Josh Norman?
So my assumption is that they got Josh Norman and they put him on the active roster because he is the only corner who is available, who is easy to acclimate to the defense. He's already played in it. He's played with Sean McDermott with the Panthers. He then came over to the Bills. Like, it's easy to get him in there and just kind of refresh him so that he's ready and accessible for said game. Now, obviously,
there's a reason you don't have a job.
Yes. Right. No. And I'm not sitting here saying that this is awesome. This is probably the worst outcome that you could have because you would hope that Kyrie would have stepped up and do something, but that's not the case.
All I gotta say is, did Micah Hyde do something?
Real quick, let's also
did he do something or did he get cooked on
let's
the last?
also
hold on,
let's also keep in mind
safety on a wide receiver in man press coverage is not ideal to begin with. He's a safety.
Let's also keep in mind. Let's also point out that Norman has not been on an active roster since 2020, so he hasn't played football in 3 years. Like
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
Mm.
Even if practice squad, okay. He's directly to the active roster, and he hasn't played a game in 3 years.
And he's what,
35.
35? Lord,
He's 35.
I don't know.
Deshaun came out slow. Le'Veon out the league.
Yeah, but
That
no,
time
the
off.
situation is bad, and I don't mind you guys addressing and adding something to it because I understand your concern after yesterday. But Josh Norman,
Hey, look, it's a crazy thing, but I think we got to flip the switch because there's an even more pressing matter that we have to deal with,
What that is?
and that's Cowboys 49ers.
Thank you.
Oh,
Like at the end of the day, like this game showed me that my number one
that was a nice
NFC
pass in transition. I
my
kinda like that.
my number one
I ain't seen
NFC
no-
pick, the Dallas Cowboys, are in the toilet. I cannot say that they even deserved to be the number one seed that I picked in the preseason. They were downright awful.
For the record,
I mean, horrendous.
I did take the Niners.
I mean,
did take the
I
Niners to win the
was so
NFC.
appalled by Dak Prescott and this play call, and I was just like, "What are we doing?"
It's one thing to lose; it's another thing to get smoked by 32.
Like Brock, they made Brock Purdy at this point. Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback for me for this season. Oh, he's top 10
I
quarterback.
mean, that's easy. People are putting him, his MVP odds are like third.
Yeah,
but
it's accounted for.
But
Like, I think
that's
like,
not saying based on talent. That's just saying playing
just
ball.
playing. Like
He's played.
He's been
football.
phenomenal,
Yes.
and he's like doing that against the Cowboys defense, where we were like, hey, even in the playoffs last year, he didn't play great against that defense,
No.
but they won the game.
Mhm.
This year, he played spectacular. 4 touchdowns, and then some of them throws was, hey,
20
Again, his life is easy. Like it's not. If you have people talking about, oh, Mac Jones was in Brock Purdy's spot. He'd be
I
cool.
can't. I
Like you
struggle.
said, Brock Purdy has made all the throws.
I'm
Like
sorry.
he not turning the ball over.
He's not in my MVP race at all.
Oh, he's not in mine either. I'm just saying that's
no,
where his
but
odds
he
is. That's
no,
where
he
they
can be. He
I
definitely
can't-
can be.
I struggle to make somebody the MVP if you're not the best player on that side of the ball.
Oh, I'm with you.
I'm going Christian McCaffrey before I go Purdy for MVP.
No, it's easy.
But it's,
Personally.
For me,
but then there'll just be 2 people in the MVP race.
No, but
For
I'm
one
just telling
team.
you who I would have there.
So you had a fault. You have a fault with Matt Ryan winning MVP that year when he wasn't the best player on that side.
I think Julio. Well, you're saying over Julio.
Yeah.
Julio had a very strong argument to be the MVP.
he had a better year in 2015 than he did in 2016. Julio
Yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm. But
Let's
your
see
record
that was
better
2016.
than 2016, correct?
Yes,
Which is why
because
it went that way.
The improved play of Matt.
I mean, look,
His 2015
like
year,
he
to
played
me,
was
the way I
crazy,
see
yeah.
it
And
is
then
if Brock
came back.
Purdy continues to play this
He
way,
was.
let's just say, like,
He wasn't
he ends
even
up
in the MVP
throwing
vote.
like 35 touchdowns, 5 picks, and the Niners are the number 1 seed in the NFL. Man might just win the MVP, and it's not because of like he's better than Christian McCaffrey, but it's become a quarterback award.
I know, but McCaffrey deserves that thing.
I'm
sorry.
I'm
If
worried.
It turns out
If
that way,
McCaffrey still plays like he's been playing all season,
yes.
but we also have to account for that McCaffrey didn't play that well against the Cowboys. It was Brock Purdy that played better than him then.
So
So
that's 1 for 4.
no. But what I'm saying is, if they account for the big
The math
games
adds up to me.
and Brock Purdy plays better in the big moments than Christian McCaffrey, it'll go to Brock Purdy.
My thing is this. I know he gets some flack for being, on the same team with Debo and Kittle and stuff like that, right? I think we've all watched enough football to know that if you don't have any talent whatsoever, at somehow, some way, you're going to get exposed.
Yeah,
It's going to show itself. Now, for a guy that's played as many games as he has so far, and a guy that was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant, last player in the draft, for him to have a 22-4 TD to interception ratio, even by this point,
it's crazy.
that's pretty damn impressive. I will feel that a least talented quarterback
Very clean.
I would feel a least talented quarterback will at this point, even though he has all those playmakers around him, at some point he's gonna show his true hand. He's gonna throw picks.
Jimmy G did.
Right.
He
So
sure
it's
did.
like at some point we're going to have to come to the conclusion like, hey, you know what? I know he was drafted last overall, but he might be pretty good. And maybe not elite level, but he might actually be a pretty damn good
and like, here's the thing for me is I think that, you know, we'll say that, oh, if he was with this team, this other team, would he be better? No. Like, I think that that's like a clear thing. But the fact that he is, with the opportunity that he was given, is excelling at said opportunity.
Right.
I'm like, okay, like, to me, it'll get to a point to where even if some of that talent leaves, he'll have played so good and know the offense so well that it'll continue even when those players leave, because he just knows it like the back of his hand, to where he'll be like, yeah, like if you do this, you'll be open. Or if you do this, like it's just
real.
I was gonna say in Tom Brady's last year in New England, he knew all that offense, he knew where to go with the ball and everything, but they fell flat because they didn't have the skilled people. So I would say you can't just overcome.
Yes, you can, because Tom Brady did that for most of his career after Randy Moss left.
He did, but we saw where the cap was.
No.
I have a.
We're not going to discount Gronk.
I have a comparison here.
How many times was Gronk injured and they were still able to go to the playoffs, win the Super Bowl?
Like, you can't.
Okay, Edelman is not that good. He's never been a Pro Bowler.
I'm
comparison.
also agreeing Edelman.
No, he's never been a Pro Bowler with Tom Brady.
I got a comparison for you guys. Does this not feel like a similar start to Tony Romo's career? A guy that came in that was drafted so low. We looked at him. He threw a few passes. He won a couple games.
I was scared of Tony Romo.
But early on, we were saying like, okay, he got a little lucky. Nice little story. Yeah. Cool. But then he started to become a long-term starter, and seasons started to pile up. And as we kept looking, like, Romo may not be elite, but he's had some pretty good seasons.
Yeah.
Even with Des Bryant, even with DeMarco Murray. He's had talent.
Better than Eli.
Right. So to me, this feels similar to what we saw with Tony Romo. Like, he may not be elite level because he has so many playmakers around him. But you know what? He may actually be better than his draft position.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't go 22 and 4.
22 and 4 is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, because like we said, even Jimmy G wasn't this good.
Right.
And Jimmy G got them to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So it's like,
it's hard to give him credit right now. That's really what it is, because you have everything you need. You have the weapons. You have a tight end who can also block. You have a defense where you have elite players at every level. You have everything that you need, where all you got to do is what your coach, who is a great offensive mind, let him run the show. You just put the ball where it needs to go. And he's made all the throws.
Now, going from offensive mind to defensive mind, let's have a Bill Belichick conversation.
Yes.
Let's hash this out.
It's time.
I don't know.
It's time.
This is 90-10.
It's time.
It's 90-10.
Tom. Yep.
90%
Oh,
Tom.
90-10 is crazy.
10%.
I might not be.
I was always at 80-20.
I might not be there, but I'm more like 70-30. I'm still in that neighborhood.
It depends on what area you're talking
60-40 guy, so I'm gonna keep it at 60-40.
But I arrived to that conclusion last year.
It depends on what area you're talking about.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Brady was a game manager until like 06.
No. But here's the thing: is when they won those first 3 Super Bowls, Bill Belichick wasn't the one acquiring the talent. He was just coaching.
Yes. And
I think that he was more of a major part in them winning those Super Bowls than Tom at that time.
It was so much talent.
But the talent that he acquired, obviously, it didn't reach its potential until Tom was able to be clutch that Drew Bledsoe just never was.
How much credit do we give to him having coordinators like Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel?
But he made
those early 3 years.
He made those guys, because you got to think, a lot of Bill Belichick's guys, when they become head coaches, what do? Nothing. They're great coordinators, but when they become head coaches, they're not head coaching.
I don't care about their head coaching. I'm talking about them as a coordinator on that staff and how we want to give all the credit to Belichick for those.
But how many guys has he had on his staff that we were like, damn, they were good defensive coordinators, or like.
Right,
it's a lot.
I don't care about what they did afterwards. I'm talking about with them right then and there.
But that's what I'm saying though, is he has created so many guys that were great defensive coordinators. Because you can't just say, oh, like he just recruits a lot of defensive coordinators. No, like he gets them to be great defensive coordinators because he's a great defensive mind.
So we're saying that's
himself.
what I'm trying to say.
What's that got to do with the price of rice? It's 80-20.
You say that to say what? I'm saying 80-20 at what point? The whole time?
Yes.
It's not 80-20
Yeah,
the whole time.
no.
No, there's no way. In 2004,
Yes.
it was not 80% Tom Brady.
It was.
When you have Ty Law, Vince
Yeah.
Wilfork,
Yeah.
Willie McGintis,
Like
Teddy
they had
Bruschi on your defense, it's Tom
junior
Brady.
Seau,
Yeah. That still wasn't going nowhere.
That's why
Not
I'm only.
unless
They
Tom
almost
was
went home if the Tuck rule hadn't
That's
saved
why
them.
I only give them 30.
That is
That's
true.
why I only give them 30% because of that. To me, that first half.
I'm about to say,
when Brady
that was,
when Brady evolved,
And honestly, it wasn't a Bill
There was-
Belichick
there was a switch.
that got Randy Moss.
when Brady evolved, when
What, a
Brady
fourth
truly evolved,
crazy.
No.
from that point until
That-
Brady left, that's
That's
all
where I go to
Brady.
90-10.
That's all
But-
Brady.
I'll go 80-20.
How was
the
it
first
80% Tom
half,
Brady?
because he was doing nothing without Tom under center. They weren't going to go to the Super Bowl without Tom under center. They weren't going to win a Super Bowl without Tom under center. We've seen plenty of elite.
I mean, Tom.
defenses
I
not
know.
get to
I
the
know.
Super Bowl.
Tom.
Like, that's
Tom
a
was
regular.
Tom was not.
Tom
putting,
being under
but, hold on,
center
but the
is
thing,
what got you.
Tom was not
Because
putting up.
He made the plays.
He was not. Yeah,
that
he was
needed
not
to be
putting up.
made.
Yeah, he made the
To
play.
get you
Hold
there.
on, hold on. He was not putting up elite numbers as he did, in the Randy Moss Edelman era. But like you just mentioned, he had a number of clutch moments
Yeah,
that helped save that. Like I'm not giving Belichick credit for Tuck Rule game.
but
That's
but-
Tom. That's Tom
but
and
see-
Vinatieri.
But if that's the case,
Tom
it's
and
like
Vinatieri.
if that's the case, and you're going to say that yes, that he made the plays when they mattered, I'll give you that. But if you're gonna say that, then it's like you also have to give that to Eli Manning when it comes to just being a Super Bowl champion. That did he not make the plays when they mattered?
You're right. I only gave Eli the credit for those drives, not for the entire Super Bowl. Y'all wanted to put him in the Hall of Fame because of the ring itself.
No.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
No,
exclusively because of that.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
No, I'm not.
He
Look,
brought it
stay
there.
on
I don't know what's
task.
going to
yeah,
tell
that's-
you. But
Look.
until 2007,
No.
Tom Brady's numbers was 24-12, 26-14, 28-14, 23-12.
That's fine. He made
Come
the
on.
key plays when they were needed in order to get
And the
through
thing
the
is,
playoffs
it's
and
never-
to win the Super Bowl.
Like,
that
when
wouldn't have happened if Brady was not under center.
But here's the thing, though.
So you
It's
get
like-
him 80%?
No,
just
no,
for
no.
the-
But here's
for
the thing.
a
It's
few
not
drops.
like it's
You get
not like
80%.
Tom Brady was like, "Oh, I'm getting us, and it's gonna be a touchdown."
Do
It's
they-
no, I'm
do
gonna
they
get us
win?
in the field
Do
goal
they-
range
do they
to give
still-
us a chance
Do
to
they
win.
still win 3 rings with Drew Bledsoe?
No.
Do they win a ring with Drew?
That answers your question, right?
That's what I'm saying.
We can
I
move
mean,
on.
we'll
It's
never-
because
we'll-
Brady
we'll-
was the guy under
We can
center.
move on.
But that's
80% is
We can
crazy.
move on.
that's
I don't
the
think
thing,
he-
though. No,
They have
because
complete
because
team. Maybe he's
but the
missing piece.
defenses were clutching those to even give them a
I've seen
chance.
clutch
Right.
defense
To give him
all
a
the
chance.
time.
Great. But if you
I
just
see
take
them
out
all the time.
but if you just take
And it
out
ain't enough.
one player,
This is why no running backs are
keep
considered
the
in the
roster
MVP.
the same
Let me
all the
tell
way
you
through.
something. Right there.
And just take out Brady for Bledsoe. Y'all told me they don't win a ring. With
Okay,
the same-
but
I
if
think
that's
that-
the case, if that's the case, you could have been like, oh, well, it could have been with someone else other than Bledsoe. Maybe Bledsoe just wasn't clutch, and that's why. But if you put in someone else,
if you put
Who do you want to put in?
who you want to put in at that
shoot,
point?
hey, look, Steve
If
McNair could have
if Dan Marino
No,
if Dan
Steve McNair could
if
have
Dan
done it.
Marino was on that team,
Yes. That's without a doubt, because Dan Marino was putting them numbers that people didn't even put up at that time.
Does Donovan McNabb? Do they win rings with Donovan McNabb in that era?
Come on.
Stop
Yes.
it, bro.
Look,
Bro, Donovan McNabb
Also-
was actually a good quarterback.
We're not going to disrespect Donovan. He was
Like,
like,
come
I'm not
on.
disrespecting Donovan,
but
but he's
Don-
not going to get you.
Donovan
the
had his
Super Bowl
flaws
rings.
now.
Yes, he would.
clearly when
No,
it was time to
he
go to the
wouldn't.
Super Bowl, he wanted to be out and about in the streets.
When it's time to go to the Super Bowl, he didn't play well. He didn't show up.
While
So,
Terrell went out
wait.
there with a broke leg.
Wait, yes, he
Hold up.
did.
No, those NFC title games, they went to 4 straight title games and they lost all
They
4.
went-
Oh,
They went to one
Brady
Super
They
Bowl.
lost. They lost.
No,
to
but I'm talking about when it was time for him to go to the Super Bowl in those you went 4 straight years and you don't even get past it. He didn't
No,
play
he
well.
went-
No,
He went to one.
No, you're not-
He went
he's
to
saying-
4 straight NFC championships before he got to a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
and
in
he
those
only
first
got to
4.
a Super Bowl because T.O. came over.
He went to
Let's
fight.
get that
But he-
together. Not because McNabb. That's because T.O. was there.
Bro,
He needed a guy.
you go to
Most
5.
people
You
knew
go to
that.
5 NFC title games and you only make 1 Super Bowl.
It's hard.
It's
No,
hard.
Tom ain't doing
You
that.
don't. Do you share that same rhetoric
Tom-
with Aaron
Tom-
Rodgers, or do you blame or are you faulting Aaron Rodgers for not making a Super Bowl because he made a ton of NFC title games?
Aaron
It's
Rodgers,
hard.
Aaron
Right?
Rodgers is on.
It's
team.
hard.
It is hard.
It's hard.
It is hard.
It's
But
hard.
we don't put Donovan McNabb in that same category as Aaron Rodgers because he was not an MVP.
Why the hell do we not?
He's not an MVP.
Bro,
He's
you
a
were-
four-time MVP. What do you mean?
You not
Hold
only
on, no timeout because
Not
Aaron
only-
Rodgers was in his category before he got 4 MVPs.
right.
He was
Not
in
only
before he had 2 MVPs.
hold on.
He had an MVP.
Not only did
when
McNabb
he won the Super
not
Bowl.
only did
I said
McNabb-
before he had 2
not
MVPs,
only did
he was
McNabb
already
make-
in
not only
whatever
did he do
stratosphere
that,
people wanted to put him in.
not only
because he won an MVP in the Super Bowl already.
Not only did he do that, but 3 of those 4 NFC title games, they were the number 1 seed that year. So they mean they were the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
The best team, and you still couldn't get over the hump.
That's true.
So no, I don't think that McNabb being there would have done it.
McNabb could have got one.
Tom is the reason why they were able to get those.
Scrubbing through these playoff games, their defense was holding people to like 14 or less
Yes,
points
that's
most
fine.
of the time.
Who?
Tommy had to do the Patriots.
The
During them
Patriots,
runs,
they're a great defense.
that's I attribute in
But
the
if you're
early
gonna
years,
talk about Donovan McNabb,
think
you would
about the
have
Hall
to
of
say
Famers you
were
had on
those
that
defenses the same?
Okay,
Yes,
if you
yes,
take away
those
Teddy
defenses were
Bruschi,
good,
are they
yes.
still winning a Super Bowl?
Not
With
a-
Brian Dawkins, Hugh Douglas,
Oh,
Jeremiah Trout, those defenses were
But
good.
this is what
Hey,
Junior
hold on,
Seau,
hey,
Vince
hey.
Wilfork.
oh, you
If
think you're
you
making
take
a point?
38-year-old Junior
Hey,
Seau.
if you take Teddy Bruschi off, are they still winning the Super Bowl?
I was thinking about Ty Law. I was
I don't
thinking
know.
about Rodney
Okay,
Harrison.
if you take away Ty Law instead, you still already win the Super Bowl. Are those? I'm asking.
I don't.
They
I-
can't win it without Ty Law. Can they win it without Ty Law? Because
But
there's
I
only
would
one
attribute-
guy who I can sit here and say they can't win it without. Is there another person on this team that you guys can sit here and say they could have won it without?
Bill Belichick.
No,
without
they
Bill.
could have won it without Bill.
No,
Think so?
without Bill, they're not.
Yeah.
winning.
If you lost Ty Law,
They're not
I was gonna
winning.
say
They could've
Bill
won without
could
Bill.
scheme
No,
it
they
up to where they
couldn't have.
be cool.
They could have won it without
No,
Bill.
they
How you
couldn't have.
figure?
Because the defense wouldn't have been as good.
Oh, no, they got the players already. They just need somebody who. They just need a good defensive coordinator.
No, they,
You got the
they
Hall of Fame
they
players.
couldn't- they
With
couldn't
that
have-
many
the
Hall
de-
of Fame
the defensive
players,
coordinators.
they can't put together.
You mean
a
with
good
the,
defense.
We've seen a
the
coach
revolving door of defensive
fumble.
coordinators who care about those guys, right? Like they
Coach
just
all
on
the
the
time.
staff, just wearing shirts and being on the sideline on Sunday.
But who's the one that's orchestrates the defense? Is Bill Belichick.
Well, why he ain't orchestrating this one?
Defense actually hasn't been that bad. It's been the
Bruh.
offense giving up
They no,
good field position.
stop it. They're bad,
I wouldn't say they're
and
bad.
and the, no,
I wouldn't
what?
say they're
I
bad.
wouldn't.
they're
wouldn't
fifth
say
in the
that.
draft order right now. If the draft was tonight,
Because
they'll
of
be
their
drafted
defense,
5
Because of the
overall.
offense.
No, the team as a whole is bad.
Like,
They're 1 and 4. guys.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like I said earlier, is before Bill Belichick was the GM and he wasn't the one that was getting all the talent, they were way better at having talent. But as we've seen, and this is why I give Brady a lot of credit for this, is Brady was able to mask that talent when they didn't have it anymore after Gronk and Aaron Hernandez and after all these guys were gone. It's like when it's just Brady and they're still making it to the playoffs and winning the division, you give a lot of credit to that because
real-
he masked a
The
lot
real
of
discussion
Bill
that we
Belichick's
want to,
GM
the real
statistics. That's
discussion that we want to have is if they continue on this pace, do you guys fire Bill Belichick?
I fire the GM, not the coach.
No, you firing them.
I'm firing.
So
him.
you
really
take
think
away,
he's gonna-
you take
he's
away
gonna
his,
follow it?
you take away his
if
position as a
he's
GM.
not, if he's not fine with just coaching, then yes, I have to fire him. But I'm firing the GM first before I fire the coach. I'm like, yo, Bill,
Even
like we can't do this anymore. Like you either
What do you
take
do?
off being the GM or
What do you do? They're 4-13.
The reason why he's not a good,
They're 4-13.
he's not a good at acquiring talent.
What do you do?
Hadn't been.
Yes.
Even when we talk about people who've gone through their team.
Not since 2012.
Guys, they're 4-13. What do you do? Robert Kraft.
You can't fire him yet. I feel as though
Wow.
because of the ties, you can't.
What
The
ties?
optics, the ties.
NFL stands for what have you done for me lately?
That is
NFL
not what the
stands for
NFL
not
stands
for
for.
long.
That's okay, but
Bro.
I know he can coach talent when it's there. It's just not there.
It-
so if someone else can acquire
Whenever
it,
he
guys,
go,
I'm okay.
it will
with
be
it.
a mutual
I want-
parting
I-
of
I-
ways.
I wanna
It's
let
not
you-
going to be
I
no.
want to let you guys
boom,
know.
you out of
I
this
want to let you
one.
guys. They're bleeding. They're laying on the ground. They're bleeding right now.
Yeah.
Someone needs to stop that damn bleeding,
bleeding-
or they're going to bleed
No,
out.
no,
Yes,
no.
the
Okay.
GM. Yes,
It's,
fire the GM.
Why gotta be blood? It's just a game.
it's been, no,
That's
it's
it.
been this way since Tom left. It's been this way.
It has
And
slowly.
People
look at
like
that-
you are the reason why
They look at
it's
that-
getting worse.
They look at that. They look at that playoff year and say, "Hey, they made the playoffs. Was that even really a good team to make the playoffs? The way that they played on the road against Buffalo, they didn't belong on that field."
I've enjoyed boo-booing on the Patriots over the last few years. So I wouldn't say that I'm the reason why.
But what I am saying is,
Shout out to
yes,
Tyrell,
Bill
that guy.
Belichick is still a good coach to me. He
Great
just
player.
needs better
Great player.
acquisition of talent.
All right. So before we sign off, let's go ahead and talk about one of his former coordinators, Josh McDaniel, Raiders, hosting Matt LaFleur.
Raiders.
The Packers.
Dun, 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 dun.
How are we feeling? Who we choosing? What we doing? I'm going Packers. I'll start it off. Packers. I think gonna have a nice outing. I'm hoping they get Christian Watson more involved in this game.
They better.
And I see this game probably being like a 28-17 Packers.
I'm going Packers too, but I think tonight, Devontae, he saw what DJ Moore did. He saw what Jamar Chase did. He said, you know what? I'm going up against my former team. They didn't want me. They traded me here. They took me out of Green Bay and sent me to purgatory.
I don't know if that's the.
No, that's the. You don't think Devontae Adams got? No, he has that in the back of his mind. He's going to have a game tonight.
When that they didn't want him. He wanted.
No,
he didn't want them.
They didn't. No,
he
they
didn't want them.
They didn't want.
He wanted to go play with Derek.
Yeah, because he was tired of Aaron
because they didn't want him.
Nah, man.
They didn't want to pay him.
No, they sent him.
He was already paid, was he not?
He wanted an extension. He wanted an extension. They didn't want to give him long term. They didn't want him. They sent him.
Nah,
so it's okay. So it's a tricky situation with the Packers because the Packers they don't have ownership like the other 32 teams.
No,
the Packers are a team owned by basically the community.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, they only believe in giving guarantees to the quarterback position.
Yes,
and so that was where the dispute began when it came to Devontae Adams. Now, from what I was told, Devontae Adams was offered some sort of money, but by that point,
it was too late.
He was done and he was ready to go play with his MVP level Derek Carr.
It was pie in the face at that point.
So
yes,
that would be the full story for those who don't know. Where were you at with this game?
No, I think Packers 2017. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, but Packers gonna win by field goal in the end.
Who did you choose?
I feel like the scores have been so weird. But I'm gonna go Raiders 16-14.
Man, it's desperate.
Desperate.
That's why you chose the Panthers.
You know what? I'm going.
Who at the bottom of the table? I'm still ahead of you with the Panthers.
You're right. You're right. Scores have been
still ahead.
You're
man.
right. Scores have been weird. So I'm still going to stick with the Packers, but I think it's going to be like a 29-25 game. Like it's just ugly.
Okay.
Like
is that score origami? Is that?
Yeah. It might be.
So, I'm like 16-14. I'm gonna go. I'll take that 23-21. 21.
That is it for us.
No points.
We appreciate you guys being with us live. We will always be live on Monday, 7 to 8:15. So thank you guys for joining us, being with us. We do have our recording coming out for Wednesday recording.
Yeah.
For Thursday.
Yeah.
Again, like and subscribe. We are going to start trying to do some more intricate and different things. So keep an eye and a lookout on that. So for me, Cordell,
Marcus,
Steve, Rob,
Deuce, baby.
All right, thank you guys so much. Love and happiness. Yeah.
Where you pull that from? The bass,
Jadakiss.
Oh, I didn't know he could produce that noise. I didn't know he could.